Hi, we're here with Victoria New, who rode Fleeceworks Mystere Duval to the CCI One-Star Individual Championship at the Adequan FEI North American Junior and Young Rider Championships. Victoria, can you talk a little bit about the phases for you, how your week went, and what it was like going into the final day on top?
Well, starting out with dressage, obviously, that's how we always start out. We had a great warm-up the few days before when we came up here, and we got to do a ring familiarization the day before and show the horses the tents and the flowers as they would be, and I felt for me personally that made a huge difference in our ability to ride the test correctly. He was so focused when we went in the ring, just picture perfect, and he was so responsive, and it was the best test I'd personally ridden to date, and our first time to score in the 40s at an FEI event, and I was just overwhelmed and so pleased when I got the results back that we had. And he's just a fantastic horse, and I'm learning a lot from him. And going into cross country the next Saturday, it had started raining and they'd been working on the footing, and the footing looked much better, but I watched a couple of our two-star kids slip around the course, and after talking it over with Mike, I decided that I really needed, with my big horse, to slow down for the fences and make sure he got around those turns safely, and didn't take any silly chances, for the team and for myself. And so we worried about the time in between the fences, and he's a really quick horse, so that worked out really well for us, and we didn't have any slips on course, and everything rode really well, and I was really pleased with him. And we came across the finish line double clear, and to hear that announced was just wonderful. And then hearing that double clear had moved me up into first place going into show jumping tomorrow, I was just overwhelmed, and I couldn't believe it. And then after all the excitement, the pressure kind of started sitting in as well. And the team was in silver by 1 point, and so just a lot to think about going into the ride today. And I walked it this morning with Angela Gruzwinski and then later Mike Huber, our coaches, and they gave me a great pep talk. And I walked in the ring, and there were some big jumps in there. Nothing I know Bean can't handle, but for me personally, they were pretty intimidating. And also in such a big ring for my horse, the leftover water jump from the jumpers and flags, those are huge questions for us. And so going in the ring, I was nervous and slightly unfocused, and we had a rail early on in the course, but soon got my act together, and we finished up the course beautifully, and he was just fantastic and took such good care of me. And it was just such a wonderful weekend, and going home with 2 gold medals is just icing on the cake.
And your horse had some experience at the international level before you got him. How does that help when you come to young riders?
Well, there's nothing he hasn't seen before. He's such an experienced horse, and the jumps are not the worry for him. As long as I ride to the ability I know he can jump, we do well. He's a horse that you put in, you get out what you put in, no matter what. He will go like you ride him. So if I ride him well, he goes well. If I don't, we have trouble. So he's very clear on that. But I've learned a lot from him, and I'm really lucky to get to ride a horse, that Leslie Law rode for so many years, and he's just flawless in the dressage. If you ask correctly, he does it correctly. It's been a great experience.
And tell me what was going through your head when you landed off the last jump in stadium.
I just gave him one big kick and started patting him, and I think he knew, because he just took off at a gallop and threw in a good buck for fun. And it's just such a fantastic feeling. And honestly, I wasn't sure I'd won. I hadn't watched the people go before me. I didn't know if I had a rail in hand. But my goal coming to Young Riders this year, after my experience last year, was to finish that show jumping course. And after seeing the exact same line that I fell at last year, when I finished that line and went across the finish flags, the only thing on my mind was, I finished! So, hearing later, walking up to my coach that I'd won the gold was just so almost surprising to me. It almost hadn't crossed my mind yet, to be perfectly honest, but I couldn't have been happier with him, and I really look forward to what we have coming up in our seasons together.
Great. Well, thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.